with our nice side and this crash done over there. The guy is looking black. You know, what's up? What is the logic behind that?
Yeah, looking black. I always tell that black is beauty. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, black is beauty. That's why I always wonder why some people want to bleach. I don't want to put it only on women.
But also some men also bleach.
Yeah, so much.
We have seen very many of them now.
Yes,
They have really
yeah,
they have taken that command. They are now the leading.
Yeah, of course they want to change the color of their skin. I don't know why.
So prove to them that black is beauty.
Of course, my dressing here shows everything. Now, why should I prove? Well, what proof do you want more than what I've dressed? So, basically, I feel that if you're somebody who is natural like me, bless up to you. Actually, it's one of the best way how you can, live in this world.
In this world.
Yes.
Be original.
Yeah, be original. Do things the way how they are. Don't just keep on.
And of course, the Crash Dog is saying that be original. Just as Diwan Cabana, you know, I had to Diwan Cabana, you know, I don't know where he got that thing, you know, the original music, meaning that every single thing that he does is original. And of course, Amosh the Crash Dog is telling you to be original. And yesterday you weren't here with me. So how was your weekend? Anyway, let me first ask.
Yeah, this has been one of the longest weekend. It has been a weekend that
for you decided to add one more day.
Real, yeah, true. Of course, you know.
So how was it?
The weekend started on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Heroes Day. So it was really very tiresome. A lot of things that happened over the weekend. So the one thing that I want to congratulate these guys of Afro Branch for a good work. Actually, it is the first successful show this year. Even in Kampala, they haven't hit that much. Reason being that we have seen so many shows happening, but they have been flopping. Shows have been flopping this year badly.
So this year, yeah, and of course, Spice Diana was down. Fig for America.
Most shows did not work out. So big up to all my guys. They know Moses Shillings, Nelson. To mention but few, I know there are so many people are behind that. They have really made this. They have really made us so happy and so proud. You know, Santa Maria is not an easy venue. It has been so hard. We last had successful show was a Spice Diana. Is it Spice Diana? Last year. Yeah, last year. After that one, all the shows that has been coming there, they have just been flopping. So, big up to you guys. You have done a very tremendous work to put up such a very good record. People remember you for the good organization. Okay, me personally, I didn't go there. I never had enough time. Remember that every Friday I'm always in Kovoko.
So you had a lot of bookings.
And Kovoko, you know, it was ED day. So with ED, I came back in the morning hours. I was so tired, so the whole day I was resting. I remember that even very day. I had again another night in Capital One. So it was not easy for me to wake up and catch up with Afro Branch. And it made me just let me rest and maybe set myself for Capital One. So that's what I did.
But of course, talking about that, it was a plus. You know, I love that word plus because plus adds into a lot of things. It was really one of the successful show. Let me say event this very year, and we are expecting more to come our way. And of course, we leave the ones that did not work out. But of course, we pray for the presence and the ones that have worked and the ones that are going to they are going to organize ahead of us. And of course,
basically, before we leave that, I want us to understand what are the magics that made that should be successful. I would say one is the money. Yes, the money that these guys are putting that event was a little bit much, and they have made sure that they did not leave any stone unturned. Reason being that look at the event itself, look at the organization, look at everything, look at how they have been, the social media, and they really did everything. Why I'm saying that one day is, first of all, Sarge, I went there when they are doing the setup.
Yeah, I remember it was on Friday. No, Thursday.
It was Thursday.
It was on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday before I went to Bamboo for the quiz night. I try to go there because I knew my time is limited and I don't have enough time. I may not. Actually,
So you
even
should utilize
I
that
predicted right that I may not be. It may not be possible for me to be there, but I want to be and see how the whole thing, the whole process is on how they were organizing. So I went there. I think when I reached there, I saw and I said, yeah, this is how events supposed to be. Because the other time when we had a Zawi, now I want to bring it the point why that's so successful. When we had a Zawi, the stage itself, it was very dull. One, the lighting were not enough. Two, the setup, let me say, the stage itself, they never had even where to put their DJs, had nowhere to put their players.
So the stage was very small?
It was small, it was not organized, it was a little bit dirty. So, especially,
so that was the reason why the show did not work out with Vazawi?
Of course, people they want a driving force. There should be one driving force that makes me not to sleep, to make sure that you should give me a reason why I should leave my bed, my one bed, yet even I'm renting, I'm paying monthly. And why should I not sleep on my bed and go out for your event?
You should give me a reason.
You have to give me a reason. It's not
and
just
worth
now
for
matter
my
of
money.
that. Yes, you don't. It's just not just matter of thinking that after you put there your music, and you set up something very small layer, you think that it's enough. No, there's a lot of things that brings people to an event. First of all, the artist, the choice of the artist. Two, the venue. Three, the timing. Four, there are so many things that it's the combined effort that makes an event, makes up to the success of an event. So don't look at one angle. Sometimes people think that by bringing maybe one of the biggest artists in the country, it is over. No, it's not yet over. There are other angles people look at. There are some people who are not interested in the artist. There are others who are interested in other things. So you need to be very, very, very careful when you're organizing an event next time. I think Afro Branch have given us a very good experience, and we have learned so many things, maybe the other way around.
And of course, I did say something like this, yesterday, about Afro Branch. You see, I love the fact that it worked out because we were doubting. Because the Friday was Eid.
Actually, it was my prayer. No, I did not doubt. My doubt was if it was to be on Eid day.
Me, I was totally doubting that event because Eid day was on Friday, and then the next day after Eid, that is the Afro Branch. And I love the fact that it worked out, and it gave us another mileage and a different image again. And I did say this, as we get out of this, I did say this that. Afro Branch, they have brought for us, something that we used to yearn for. You need to subscribe, you go buy data, and you go buy data, and then you start searching. But currently, as we speak, you don't need to use data. If you have your 5,000 or 10,000, you can go to clubs, and you see those things physically fit. Meaning that the kind of things that we are using right now, and of course, I'm talking about, first of all, the dressing code. The dressing code has changed totally in the city. Things that we used to yearn, you go to your phone, you start doing this and that to get to that, but we are now seeing it even without paying anything. However, from that, of course, that was the Afro Branch. That was my word yesterday, and we all know that it worked out, and it has really created a platform where people have to, people will live, it will live long, and with the kind of what they're doing right now. And of course, each and every single time they come up with the new things, what people are expecting to see, they really bring it on point. And of course, away from that, today, Mosh, as we have been moving around, and of course, I came across one of the stories of some of the artists complaining about the producers who are also artists, who also sings, yeah? And of course, in terms of production, there's a way they do their production. They do kwara production, so that they don't thinking that maybe they'll be their competitor. There's a way they do their production, kwara. So now I sat down and I was like asking myself, we have seen so many producers who are also artists, like the likes of Daddy Andre. He did so many hits for other artists, even better than his. Why is it that these artists are coming up with this kind of complaining to the producers who are also singing? Now, looking at the producers who are also doing music, we have even Judgment who writes, and you remember the other song he did with the LP Shadi.
Not only that, even Monopoly.
Even
I've done
Monopoly.
So many years,
And we have that is Rams on the beat. He did. He's an artist right now as we speak. And the new video, the new song that he did is with those
Rams should be having now around the 6 videos, I think.
The song he did with Elton Loverboy and Twisky Finger. So Elton Loverboy is also a producer. You understand? These are the guys who also produce their music, and Twisky Finger at the same time a producer. So now, where is that thing coming from? Where is that that complaint? In which other angle, if I may ask? Do you really think that these producers, there are some of the these producers who are also singing? Do you think that they are also doing the Kwara Kwara music?
No. One thing, Saj, that I want you I want viewers to understand is that there is no way you're going to tell me that someone is doing a work that he doesn't understand. Why am I saying this one here? Almost all the producers in Uganda, people who are in production, they understand the work, what they're doing. One, why they sing is because they want to show that they really understand, they are not there by mistake. I want to tell you aside one thing, that every artist is a producer. Because first of all, you personally even incorporate your ideas to produce your music. There's a way how because before you even storm the studio, you already have the idea. The production starts from the time when you start thinking of singing the music. And that's what I'm saying. So you personally, you as an artist, you're a producer. Don't say that, hey, the production. Now when you reach in the production room where the music is produced, you already have the idea how you want your song to be, how you want this one to be. So at the end, you share idea with the producer how best you can have the music. So the thing of saying that some of these things yes, you want him to specialize in doing production, but how will you know that he's good in whatever thing he's doing? So, for example, I can give you such that you are complaining about someone being a producer. I can tell that one of the biggest artists that we have in Uganda, Jose Camille, is a producer. And he has done production for so many people, and he has brought so many artists on the ground. So, the complaint about the artist, I think it's now you are decision making. If you feel that Joshman is not the right person to produce for your music, there are so many producers who are not singing.
An artist?
Yeah,
a singer?
Yes, of course. You know why they're doing that is. By the way,
but talking about that, you see, if you ask me, Mosh, before I give you my view. So now, before I say something, let me first get back to you again. What do you think is? Where do you think the problem is coming from? Should it be that the content? The issue here is coming from the content that the guy produces, like as an artist. Definitely.
Let me tell you, Saj.
As a producer, do you really think that the mistake comes from the producer or the content in that very particular artist?
Yeah, there are so many angles that you can look at production. One is yes, some of these artists here, they are freestylers. For them, when they come to the studio, they start singing and they want the song to be recorded there and then. The others where the song, they buy songs and they come, the producer say, I want you to produce this song here. And we have seen so many instances where a producer, the song has been stolen from the studio. You hear someone has produced the song before even the song comes out. And that depends on especially some of these artists here. So, and it's good that you have brought this topic here. Otherwise, there's even something that I have been thinking about. One is people always tend to, like, the complaint that people have been complaining that most of the big artists, instead of keeping their brand and do better things, they think of offers where they can get free offers. They want to go and sing in a studio
where they
don't charge them any money. So it affects their production of music in a way that, like, now if I'm a big and now I know I can get something from Saj, a fellow DJ, I don't want Saj to charge me because they know I'm a big DJ. So this is what happened this is what has been affecting most of our music in Uganda. We don't do it in a professional way, that when you storm the studio, you want to sing and the producer, you want him to do the work for you free of charge. So some of these artists here, the big artists, they go to studios where they are given offers, And you know this new studio, they're not, if maybe artist A comes and sit on this track here, it will sell my studio. So there are so many artists, their brand has been affected because of that. The production is not up to date, but because they have that good, let me say, they have built their brand already, people keep following them. But the production bit of it is not.
But of course, if you ask me about all these complaints that some of the artists have, not all the artists, but some of the artists have raised, me, I'll only say that first thing first. You see, a producer being in the production room, he knows why he's there. Yeah, just like any other person. You know, when you are asked to do something, and of course that is your profession, you need to do it so that you can attract more customers to come, for the production. That is for the producer. But now the artists have come to realize that some of the artists, they just wake up, after you going for your early kickoff, for your early kickoff. The early kickoff we are talking about here, blazing your brain, having something, cocked in your brain. Then you see something passing there, you think that one there you can now compose as a song. Once you have come up with some of the music that my brother, that is J Fire, is singing, I don't really think that even if they are to bring a producer from America, from UK, to come and play the beat, trust me, that song there will just remain in the studio and maybe in the person's phone, because some of the songs, sincerely, you cannot blame the producers. Yeah, you can't, as an artist, you cannot blame the producer, because we have seen so many artists, and that there are so many songs in this very particular world that we are in, that there are songs that only stops in the studio and the owner's phone. That is the artist's phone. Even if you were to take it to a library, the person will just play that song when you're there. Then in your absence, that you will never hear that song played again there. So meaning that this thing comes back to the artist. This issue of waking up very early in the morning, maybe in the middle of the night, that maybe cramming something in your head that you are going to storm the studio, they should stop those things. Yes, we know that those artists, those producers, they also do produce for themselves. Even some of the producers, they go to other people to produce for them, to other producers. You understand? So these artists who are raising complaints, they should stop. They should stop just storming studio by surprise without even sitting down, analyzing what I'm going to sing. They just jump in the studio and start singing.
I remember last week we talked about someone to get out of. Let me say, nowadays it's very difficult for an artist, an upcoming artist, to break through. Why? Because of there are so many things that are involved in terms of breaking, maybe in this industry. One thing why I'm saying that one day is now music has become something very professional, in a way that you need to do things in a professional way. And why I've found it like that is, it's no longer, don't think that you'll come and sing for a fan and you'll get that line. No, that line is it needs a lot of things. It's not only about music. If it was only about music, people like Alan Sin wouldn't have been where they are. But they are there because they did the right things, and their music was just, because they're not, this is the minor now. There's the macro and the issue to do with singing is minor nowadays. It's not something that will make you to, because there are so many good music outside there, but they cannot hit anywhere, they don't play anywhere. So it's more than singing. If you are still thinking that, let me go and storm the studio and sing, then maybe I leave it the rest to the world. My friend, you listen to the music in here with your girlfriend in your bedroom.
That's why I was like saying.
Now look your side.
The music comes from the studio. Let me say from the producer to your phone. That's where the music mileage ends.
Yeah, an artist who is complaining about the producer and the poor production that has been done for him is not using his time very well. Why I'm saying that is, you need to understand that after the music is produced, what is next? And what can you do? Like now, you see, someone was telling me about the production of this big size album. Break the chain. Yeah, there's a guy who had the point is one of the coordinator in Spotify. he was trying to analyze and tell Baby Cool what he should have done and what he did not do right. Actually, I've learned so many things that he did a mistake of producing this, maybe launching the album, or releasing all the songs that they go. Why? That now the time that he has released the songs, on Spotify, it has clocked to 1 week, that song becomes very old. Because in every week there are 1,000 songs which are produced. So which means if you release all your songs once,
they will be overshadowed.
No, of course now they will say, you want to promote this song here? How all these songs there? They will find it's already 2 weeks. 2 weeks down. This is an old song, and there are other new songs which have come in. So it is becoming very hard. So what he should have done, he should have been releasing 2 or 3 or 1 like that in the album each time, like that. So that other song can easily be promoted. But now they'll abandon all the songs that he has produced all at once, and maybe they'll concentrate on the new ones which are coming in. So what he was trying to explain was right. But today's topic is about the production, producer, and the artist. Dirty bad blood between the producer and the artist. I think artists, they have some point. And also producer, they have also a point why they want to, they have a point why they want to prove to the artist that they can sing. Yeah, singing is, singing something is just because of the love. Why producers, they're not looking, serious producers like Daddy Andre, they don't look into going to the stage to perform another thing, but they want to do that one there to show people that they can, actually to sell out their studios so that they can make more money. Because if Daddy Andre does not come up and sing some song, we will not believe that he's a good producer. So when he comes and sing, it is the way of advertising himself.
But
I can tell that Daddy Andre, you remember when he was so hitting in Uganda here, how many shows were they having in Arua in West Nile?
I remember sometimes back he had a show in the other former High Five.
It flopped.
It flopped. Then there was a show he was supposed to perform in Nebi that didn't work out. And Paida, he went, but it didn't also work out. Daddy Andre. So
that's where it is. Now, all the artists outside there who are still thinking along that line that having a producer, who does music production and who is a singer as well is a bad thing. I would say it is not, the music is just a minor. Music itself, the song that you have sung is just a minor. But the other thing that you can do, you have seen so many artists that have come on untalented, but they are now training more than even artists who are talented. Do you know that I'm sorry to say this one here. Do you know that I have a belief up to now tomorrow that Kawesi is one of the biggest, let me say, one of the best, lyrically is the best artist in the country. You know Kawesi?
Yes.
Yeah? When you hear him singing other songs, people's songs, you even feel that, wow. You even clap your hands for him. But he has failed to hit the market. The industry, it has really now, actually, I even wonder, when he's singing people's songs, he's even singing it even more than even the real artist.
The real artist.
The time when I met him, when we had I think last year but one, last year but one, I think, we had Kawesi at La Confidential. The guy sang one of the songs of Cindy. What is Cindy? Was Jackie.
Jackie Chandiru.
He sang one of the songs of Jackie. I swear, I didn't know how Jackie was going to sing that song because I believe that guy sang the tune, the best tune ever. Even Jackie, when he came.
Compared to the one of Jackie.
Leave Kawesi alone. See him and use us to run away.
But now talking about that, you see me.
So what I'm trying to tell our artists outside there is, music alone, the song alone is not going to do much. Try to find out what makes up the song to sell. Because if it was really music that sells someone out, I don't think that some artists in Uganda, they would have shined. Because of their effort they have put in, there are so many things that you need to do well as a brand. People could recognize you.
And of course, I'm talking about that. If you ask me about this, I only tell you that the market is way broader. You know, the market is too big. Yeah, the market is too big that there's little portion that you're to get in the industry. Just take it like that. Because you can't tell me that with all this market, you know, in the market, definitely, when you go to the market, there's like the main market here in Arua, main market. You'll find there's Usubi, yeah? There's someone selling fish. There's someone selling, you know, bigger fish. You know, you understand? There's someone selling Usubi there. There's the other one there selling There's the other one there selling Dodo. So now, the market is big. So now it's the choice.
What is Dodo?
Dodo, it's one of the greens around. So now the choice is for the person to buy whatever the person wants to buy. You understand?
So what is the botanic name of Dodo?
No, all I know is that look along that. Of course, the market is so big. That's what I'm trying to say. Whereby we have so many types of fish in the water. You understand? With the different types of hook. Yeah. To fish those fish in the water. So now, if you're to throw your hook in the water and you happen to pull out onanang, that is what you have. That's what your hook.
Now onanang is what? There's a
onanang, and that's what I'm telling you. So now,
Tilapia.
if onanang, these small fish that they always, when you're going to Kampala, if you don't buy it, they will not. When you're coming from Kampala to Arua, if you don't buy that thing in Pakwach, we will assume that you are within maybe, but you did not preach Kampala. So now the hook.
But nowadays I see maybe even
they're even up to Arua now. The women who moves around with onanang. So I was giving you a point that when you go fishing, or when you go hunting in the bush, there's different types of animal. There's this one that our brothers here, the neighbor Terejan, they work with. Yeah, there are those.
Which one is that? Which one is that? Which one are they working with? Because when you talk of Terejan, I want to know which one is that.
So that is whatever you get in the bush determines. You understand? So when you go musically, the song that you release. Yeah? The song that you come up with, that's what you went there to produce. You understand? So even if the consumer there, they don't get, it doesn't get reached to so many consumers out there, trust me, that is what you have brought. And they'll buy it like that. Whoever wants to buy that will buy it. You understand? So artists should stop this issue, this complaining that when you go to a producer who is also an artist, there's a way they maneuver your songs so that you don't hit. Let me say, you don't hit the point. You don't hit the industry.
Actually,
just like them.
Actually, let me supplement on that. What you are
so
trying to
definitely
say.
They are very wrong. In the market, before you supplement, in the market, you go to the market, you buy whatever your money can buy. You understand? You buy whatever your money can buy. You cannot tell me that you are going to sing Adinjimo Chotia, and you expect somebody from maybe Kampala, the other side, to get, you understand? And maybe a producer from Kampala who doesn't know the lyrics of the song to give you a better production. There's no way. It cannot happen anyway.
Ochogo would have been one of the biggest track in West Nile, but I think it lacked that marketing strategy. Why I'm saying that one day is it's a very good song when you listen to it and when you look at the beats. But I think one of the things that is failing us most of the time is the production. Why I'm saying that some of these songs here, the productions are very poor, not only in West Nile, but it's the entire country. It has been proved already.
So now,
we have seen the likes of Joshua Baraka. They're really doing very well in the international market. EPAS, I saw, actually, I was checking on Spotify, one of the most trending songs. I was seeing some of these songs there. Actually, the artists who have really crossed, who are really making up there, I've seen Joshua Baraka, #1, is having so many hits there on Spotify. I checked Azawi was there, I checked Epas was there, I checked Elijah. Dawa. I checked he was there.
That is from Swans Avenue.
I'm talking about the artists within Uganda. Then I saw which which other artist else. And I don't know. It is actually one thing that I like with Spotify is that I didn't know that Joseph Balak is having been so many collabos. He's having even over 10 collabos with artists within the world. Then I saw there was some song of Burna Boy featuring it is called African some song there. So one of the things that I want to say is that you know, there's a certain thing that we need to know how to market ourselves. Right now, you need to understand that this platform here will take me to this audience. This platform here will take me to this audience. This platform here will take me here. This one here will take me here. If you want to be within your reach, yes, you go to Facebook because it's the biggest ever. Actually, it used to be TikTok, but TikTok I'm seeing now they are running back to Facebook. So if you want, you know, I think TikTok, one of the challenges that is having with our music here is if they don't get challenges, people love watch maybe when people are dancing and so on, dancing on your song. Those challenges are.
That's when they can vibe to
but
the songs.
But if you just put your song there, just people to listen, it will not do much. Someone will just scroll, will go. Actually, I'm just requesting the artists outside there, especially in West Nile, use all the platforms so that music can reach people, because
they should stop complaining to the producers.
Yes, I'm telling you, Sarge, I've realized that one of the things that is letting some of us down is that you know, some of us, we started doing things before internet came in Uganda. Now we have remained there, we are stuck. We are stuck with, we think that maybe the internet, we look at the internet as if it has no influence, it doesn't even add on. But I'm telling you right now, the world is digital. So if you are still thinking the other analog way, where you do things, you need to distribute. I mean, actually, most of the thing that is letting Ugandan music down is the distribution of the music. That's where all of us, we are failing to catch up with the world. Distribution of music, make sure that you go, if you want your music to sell internationally. But again, your sound must be very good. Reason being that if you're having your quarter sound and you put the music in Spotify, and I'm telling you,
at the end of the day, you start blaming the
at the end of the day, someone will listen to you. There's no room for improvement. Once a white man listens to your production and say, hey, my ears, and that's the end of you. You'll know, once he sees you, just scroll, you'll start, no. So try to make sure that what you're going to put on Spotify or any of those other platforms, it must be something that even you personally, it's not only be you, even others should appreciate the work. Otherwise, you're going to put something on the platform which is not going to sell you. It's going to I don't know how, it's going to bury you more and more and more. So be very, 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 very careful when you're putting.
And of course, be very, very careful when it comes to production and at the same time the distribution of your songs. Stop blaming the producers. And of course, the producers, they're doing their part. You as an artist also do your part. You know, as we take away from this.
I want you to say this one again. In local language. What right now matters is the distribution of the song. Why I'm saying that one there is it is the distribution of the music, the song, how you have distributed it. Whom do you want, which is their target audience? How do you reach to those people whom you want them to receive your song? So you need to know the platforms where you can reach your target audience. Otherwise, if you don't know the target, if you don't know
and of course, talking about that, you know, I will get that because you are Lubaraganda, which is okay. So now, talking about that, yes, talking about that, and of course, talking about that, we all know that giri mini cho miongo da ki selizo amveda uzizo amveda leda sasa yadi anjimini ne mabari yadi nikio da kiku. We have just ignored the issue of internet and the rest of the things. We just take it for joke. Nimeru kumeni wachu nimene ingeo Paul Padano kawoni njuru wir mabe neni ya give take a blaming producers in wanga nia jara wir makauchi to go wir ku produce rams can you rams to go and go full maber and wanga cha ko complain echi the prior the producer ma prior the te jara wir gamen wanga ka go and go full mukide munyanga kita ju go full makena ngo producer go full cha kutunya chair. Don't get at the back of their mind in one ania giwachania in a week which is giwachania jara with ja producer edete jara with ne chalunyo ku goal each ega mwachania ega go with ega maketunyo an we para kuru shidu kadu ma pare ega meno ania lebe gi samoku o makwan giwa wange kite mi poku wer mo ichopuka poku wer libraries wange ko woni mayot ne ute libraries ni pol pa juru wer mo be binu poda bineni in wamania libraries ubekonyo gi chalo minayo idine biga kaja cha utienga atimuka chill magwoku wer padano kai chidi ba minayo library ka wer mukmin wangu ma peri nwangu ba minayo katengene itengo jara wer ka wer peri nwangu iba minayo I library pa minayo inebika kaja cha kali nango lubara madi acholi kai nwangu wer peri I library ka keje cha ngenia ikinjuru wer kunyiri chen ipe kinjuru wer pienenia wer cheke mi be mito ichopi nwange ba minayo ka keje cha I library mapare donc inke kide mi poku wer pete ibe poke style manyanedi what you ku radios what you ku platforms le mecho ka poku wer pe weka blaming producers eni le ma awek you kende ni eni ni juru wer mo tie ku goal each kum producer what you ku producers male mo wadu hit magi wadu go hit wer mo hitting lo ma mikide ami example pa Daddy Andre ami example pa Twisky Finger ami example pa Brayo the producer ami example pa Rams on the beat where le marams go mud bedu hit mulo pare mebe temu ka woni de don inke icha ku tialo jara wiri gol icha ngonde o wekele me mecha be chain. And of course as we go for a music break, and today we're gonna be doing profiling. That is our brother, one of the guy in the name of Twisky Finger. We're gonna be giving his biography and whatever, when he started, and we're gonna be talking about him. That is my brother Twisky Finger. As we speak right now, and of course from me to you, we're gonna go for a music break, and when we bounce back, that's when we're gonna be profiling. Nino Martin, wami doka wech kumko pa Twisky Finger. Kite mecha kukude wer man kakama etiye ewer ni dana di pieni ne kainen mot Twisky Finger etiye jara wer ekia wer man producing wer de a yubu wer padano de do inke inge music break nema ende wabe chika neno kite kwa pare cha otimire nyanedi. And of course let's first go for a music break, and when we bounce back we are still continuing with our own other music. And of course before that we had legend that came in from that is One Way. But remember, the same One Way is having his concert. That is on 9th October, the year 2020. This is 2025, 9th October at Heritage Court. So we expect the old gospel lovers to be right there to support. That is the guy One Way, because he has been doing it so much in the industry. So now, talking about that, Mosh, I did say it earlier on. We have a couple of jam that, of course, that have dropped. That is one of the biggest jam again in northern Uganda. We have Ileng. That is by man CJ. It's another new drop music video. That video dropped after the guy that is after Nyaluo. Nyaluo, we are still vibing to the tune of Nyaluo. But now I've seen the rapid, the speed of which guys are, producing music videos is in a high speed. Before you know it, Nyanya will be out. And of course, so many will be following that music.
Yeah, of course, I want to say that it is always hard when an artist is having a hit, a mega hit. Man CJ, their song of Man CJ, it has been a very big song in northern Uganda. And actually, yeah, it has been a very big track that has really sold all over in the entire Great Northern region. It has taken for him some time to put up another jam.
I think. And of course, Ileng is going to work out again.
Of course, it has worked out. I really love it. Man CJ, big up to you. You gave us a very good taste of music this time.
And of course, a very good taste of music from Man CJ. And talking about that, remember we did say it earlier on that we're going to be profiling one of the biggest guy in the music industry. That is a Twisky Finger. And of course, I'm talking about Twisky Finger. Is one of the artists known in the whole of Uganda for his good production, and he sings and he does so many things when it comes to entertainment. And of course, this is Twisky Finger, who was born in the year on 14th. That is October, the year 1994. We are age mate, yeah. The year 1994. That is a Twisky Finger. Twisky Finger, we all know that he's a guy who does music. He sings, he writes, and he produces at the same time. Also, this is one of the guys. He also performs in different occasions. When he's called, he also perform. That is a Twisky Finger. Twisky Finger comes from Pakwach in one village called Wadlai, and we all know that Wadlai has produced so many artists. The rights of Aswalifa, they all come from Wadlai. Remember last time Aswali Fahad his concert, he did take it home up to Wadlai. And of course that is in Pakwach district, West Nile. That is where he comes from. That is where he comes from. Yeah. And Twisky Finger, you know, worked with so many artists. Yeah. He worked with so many artists, the rights of Eddie Kenzo. And remember that song, Zoom 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 Zoom. Yeah, he was one of the writers of that song of Eddie Kenzo, Zoom 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 Zoom. And then he also did only stop there. This is the guy who also wrote a song for David Lutalo. He also participated in that song of David Lutalo, Far Far Away. You know, remember that song of David Lutalo, Far Away. He also participated in that. And this is the guy who also participated, and he produces songs for. He also did produce some song for that is Azawi. As a producer, he did a song for Azawi as a producer, and as we speak, the guy also did a lot of things. He collaborated with Caesar Bafana, that is Twisky Finger. He collaborated with Caesar Bafana, and of course at the same time, that is Minayo Brenda. He produced some songs for very many artists as a producer. He has been producing songs for so many artists, including, you know, including Ney Official. That is from he did it with that is for Elton Loverboy. So this is the guy who did a lot of things in production. He did also write some songs for some participated in some of these big artists. You can talking about Eddie Kenzo is one of the big artists doing a production for Azawi. It's also one of the big things that he did in his career. And of course, as we speak right now, the guy is doing he produces for Attention. There's one studio called Attention, and at the same time for Swans Avenue. They do call him to master, you know, some of the songs. You know, he you know, when it comes to production, this is the guy. We know that he didn't only learn the production on the street, but he went to school, you know, to learn that. And this is the guy who did a lot of songs. He did some song for that is Alan Smokey. Alan Smokey also did a song for him, Simple. And then Liama, he also did a song for Liama. He did a song for Liama Bedmega. Yeah. Bedmega for Liama, and at the same time, many artists like Polite Moscow. He did some song with J.M. Kennedy some years back with J.M. Kennedy. You know, when it comes to music videos, J.M. Kennedy, we all know our brother. So this is the guy who did a lot of things for so many artists. And as we speak right now, the guy is in Kampala, and he's continuing with his production and singing at the same time. The current music video, the current song that is Nyalo, is a song that they did together, him, that is Rams on the beat, and Elton Loverboy. Remember, all these guys are producers. Elton is a producer, Twisky is a producer, then at the same time, Rams on the beat, you know, Rams Kugine is also a producer. So now, talking about that, I did check on his post also when some of these artists were complaining about artists who gets to, you know, who also sings, doing kwara production. He did also say something that you know, the market, you know, these artists, they should not have that feeling, you know. For them, they are doing their best because they are producers. You understand? That is that's what came from Twisky Finger. They did their best because they are producer, and that is their work. You know, being an artist is also another business. So they should stop doing such kind of things. And now, talking about that, Mosh, according to you, from what you heard about that is Twisky Finger, where would you rate Twisky Finger when it comes to the music industry in the whole of Northern Uganda? Where would you put him? Where would you put him?
I would say he's a complete artist. A person who has done a lot of music. He has given us so many love songs. I know him about that. When it comes to singing love songs, he's actually so good. I don't know whom can I rate.
No, where you can put him via production. Because this is the guy who did a lot, who did something for Azawi, from Swans Avenue.
Of course, you say one thing that there is what you call, how should I put it? There is what we call talent.
Inborn talent.
There is what we call talent. and there's what we call class.
So it's class apart.
You get what I'm saying? You may find that there is a producer who is talented, but a producer who has the class. So Twisty Finger is trying to identify himself as a class. Get what I'm saying? That's why he has run away from West Nile. He has gone to Kampala. You get what I'm saying? Let me tell you, in Uganda here, it's not easy for you to survive in Kampala, especially when you're not born of Kampala.
It's very hard, true.
Very hard. So if you can make life in Kampala, it means that you are capable of making life anywhere. So just to finger him being in Kampala, I'm not saying that all artists you should run away from Arua and go to Kampala.
Because you want a better production.
But what I'm trying to say is that always good things starts from Kampala. And that's how we believe, and it's true.
Now, how are we going to change that mindset?
Right now, if someone... No, leave alone the mindset. Let me tell you such right now. If they say right now they want aeroplane fuel, where will you get it here?
I go to airfield.
But in Kampala, not even on streets, it's there. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that most of things do know, it's not a belief. Kampala is a capital city. So the capital city, it means a lot. And this is the most industrialized, let me say, town in all of Uganda. It used to be Jinja, but now Kampala has so many industries. So basically, I think when it comes to, you want to have a class, even in any field, even DJing, you can't be compared to a DJ within Kampala. They can compare you, but those guys, they work so hard. The difference,
every single day.
The difference with us and them is competition. For us here, we don't compete. A DJ in Kampala competes like nothing. An artist in Kampala, they don't sleep, they compete like nothing. An artist doesn't sleep. You feel that if he has dropped a jam yesterday, you still feel that he needs to drop another jam. But hours after producing a jam,
you think you've made it?
You still, let me first go and collect some money. You start now collecting money again. When it reaches, you go back to the studio.
But for the guys, they sleep in the studio.
Guys in Kampala, they know that I'm producing this one here, but tomorrow I need another track to be there.
So if this one doesn't work out, maybe the other one that I'm going to produce will work out.
Let me tell you, you have seen Alain Skin. Do you know how many songs Alain Skin having? And how many years has he been in the industry? Alain Skin has been in the industry less than even 3 years, 4 years when we know. 3 years actually. When actually I knew him 4 years back.
But he has been there.
He has been there for only 2 good years. But he's having jam, he's having music more than some artists who have stayed in the industry more than even 20 years. I can give you an example of the artist. Alain Skin is having more jam than even Jamal. You get what I'm saying? Now, when you look at these two brands here, Jamal is a very big brand. I'm not despising Jamal, but why I'm saying that one is Jamal, he has so many good songs, so many hits on his name. But Alain Skin, the way how he came, and the way how he has done his thing, you know, one thing that he put in his mind that I'm not talented, but I want to roll in this music industry. Yes. So there are some people who, for them, they will know I'm a DJ. I'm not talented as much.
So now, talking about the artists who are not talented, but they want to force themselves in the market. In Arua, whom can you finger point at?
An artist in Arua.
In West Nile.
Who is not talented.
But he's trying.
He's forcing things.
Now
you see one thing that there's one thing that I want to tell you. I cannot compare an artist here in Arua. Reason mean that I cannot have that comparison. Reason mean that most of the artists in Arua here, we are struggling. We are struggling. You never know, a person may be talented, but because of lack of finance, the pocket is small. He's not able to do whatever thing he's supposed to do. But he loves being an artist.
You know why I ask you that question?
You have asked that question, but the thing is, you see, facilitation. An artist in Kampala, the facilitation the person gets. Someone is under a record label. They only need your voice. There's nothing more than that. Other things to do with marketing, production, distribution of music, everything is done for you as an artist. Now, you want to compare an artist, like now I can give you an example. If I start saying now right now, I'm sorry to say this one here. Jim Kennedy has sung over 20 years. Azawi has sung less than 10 years. But when you look at these two brands, which one is bigger? I'm asking you. Don't keep quiet.
No, the bigger Azawi, of course.
Now, why is Azawi bigger than Jim Kennedy?
Why Azawi is bigger than Jim Kennedy? Because there are people behind Azawi. You understand? There are people behind Azawi, and as Jim Kennedy is a single-handedly artist. You understand? And the managers, the people who are managing him, are the people who, like, you remember one time when Brayo said that I can't be managed by a manager who is riding a bicycle, and for me, I'm driving. You know, that shows something else. So Jim Kennedy definitely, the managers who are managing Jim Kennedy even 20 times better than them.
And now, one thing that I want you to understand is...
So now, I was bringing you into a point. You asked me a question. Why you see Swans Avenue, Azawi is under Swans Avenue. Swans Avenue is bigger than Azawi. You understand? Swans Avenue itself is bigger than Azawi. Then even Manager Taylor, you understand? The manager who is managing Azawi right now under that record label of Swans Avenue is even when you look at the person, if the lady has money, you understand? You understand? But now giving James Kennedy, now like AB Hans, what does he have? You understand? So now talking about that, even James Kennedy has more money than AB Hans. So now, how do you expect James Kennedy to be even, let me say 20, let me say like somewhere there into Azawi? No, there's no way. There's always, it's a class apart. It's just because James Kennedy is a big artist in Uganda. As we speak right now, James Kennedy in a year can host a show in Kampala more than 4 times. You can understand? And as we speak right now, he's supposed to go to Bununus. You understand? He has a show that way to perform. So James Kennedy is one of the biggest artists in Uganda. It's just because of the branding and the people who are managing him are not that, exposed to people. That's why I can't really say James Kennedy brand is bigger than the one of us.
No, now I'm imagining James Kennedy being maybe signed under some record label whereby what the task that he has is only to sing. You go to the studio, you do them, you sing the music, they buy it for you. And that is with on a record level. There's small work that you do, and you get a lot. One is, first of all, the music, they buy it for you. 2, the studio time, they pay for it.
They pay for it.
3, it's to do with marketing.
They do it themselves.
4, the distribution of music.
It's themselves.
All the platforms.
Themselves. And of course, you as an artist.
You are an artist. Your work is just to
show your presence and sing.
So you can imagine such a. That's why I'm already asking that. Do we have such a record label in Arua or in West Nile? Do we have one?
The one that we have is.
I don't want you to mention something that has not reached that standard, whereby you, an artist, your work is just to come and sing. The rest you leave it to the management.
To the management.
Yeah.
The former T record label. No. Yes, they had. Listen, we had Frigidi Frogodo, who was who could distribute the songs. And then the manager himself, the Cat's manager, was doing those things.
Wait. Now let me give you an example. Swans Avenue has so many artists. Under that record label, there are so many. And each artist having a different manager. And they having management. Under that, the same manager has management team. The management team, everyone has a role to play on that brand. Do we have such, like in Azawi, we have a management team, the manager, the management team, and everything complete. Azawi. Then Winnie Nwaji is having that complete team that promotes under that record label. Elijah the same way. Everything is the same way. You are having like one artist like this is having almost around 15 to 20 management team. Or 30,
actually, here in West Nile,
do we have any that kind of record label here?
That type of record label in Arua. Talking about West Nile, we don't have.
When you talk about West Nile here, what we not an artist sings a song, the guys who are very close to the artist as they don't put anything. What they do is They drain the artist.
So talking about that, and of course we were all this thing came about. Talking about Twisty Finger, we were trying to bring down. Where we would
I've told you, Twisty Finger, he may not be the most talented producer in West Nile, but he has a class.
He has a class.
Why I'm saying he has a class is he has decided to abandon his hometown, Pakwachi,
to go and look for greener pasture.
Actually, was not even. Actually, he used to base in the Nebi, not even Pakwachi. Actually, you see now one thing that Twisty Finger did good. He left Pakwachi because they knew people Pakwachi. The concept that they have around there cannot
sell there.
The conditions which are there cannot favor him in doing music. He ran to Nebi. He saw Nebi, he hit so many music in Nebi. He saw Nebi, look at Nebi. He said, now, should I go to Arua? Because Arua is bigger than Nebi.
Because of the time
factor. From there, he said that,
let me
first
also
going to Arua, and there's another bigger town than Arua. Let me go to Kampala.
Let me go to Kampala. Because of the time factor, and of course, we all know that this is the guy who started with the DCN. He did also with the BB Plex at the same time when he was doing the production. And some of the songs he did it with DCN. We all know DCN of producing so many music in Aluru region. And BB Plex, of which the CEO is the producer. That's where he started doing this. But of course, we all know that Twisty Finger is one talented person. He has everything in him. He can write, he can sing, he can also do so many things. He can produce. As Twisty Finger, he has so many things, like very many in one. So all that we can tell you about the journey of Twisty Finger, and the journey has not stopped there. He's still in the move, accelerating, trying to penetrate bigger market. That's why you see now he produces for Azawi, and he does a lot of things for these people. He's mastering some of the music. They always call him. So we mean that all in all, that the guy is still moving on. For what we can say, we pray that because whatever he does there is to promote our name. That is the Northern Uganda. The logo, it remains that he comes from Northern Uganda. Saji MC still remains my name. And of course, at this juncture, because of time, we want to say thank you so much for watching Western Television. We have come to the end of this very particular show. See you till tomorrow. Same time, same television. That is, it will be for the top 20 countdown. Continue requesting so that your music video can feature in the top 20. See you.